Good morning and welcome to all you beautiful souls out there. Very miserable day today where I am. Lots of rain and floods and pretty torrid weather at the moment. But yeah, we're here to do the daily challenge for today. Now, because the weather's so bad, you may not actually be able to do this challenge fully, but you can you could plan it perhaps for when the weather finds up and when you can get out if you're flooded in or housebound or whatever. But anyway, the challenge today is it's quite an easy one, but it's also very enlightening and can be very uplifting and can also reveal a lot to you. It can reveal to you some of your fears and some of your things that you've felt daunting. It may help you to knock down some of those barriers that you've put up or go through the threshold of fear that limits you from doing some things. So the challenge today is to take yourself on an adventure. So the idea is you go on your own. You can either walk to, drive to, or take a train or a bus or whatever, but go to a place that you haven't been to before. It doesn't have to be a long way away. It could be a park in your area within walking distance. You might want to go to an area on the beach that you haven't been to before, or somewhere in just even a walk down a different street or something like that. And I know the weather doesn't really permit that or doesn't here today, but you can do it in your imagination and prepare yourself for when you actually do it. So the whole idea is to be totally self-reliant. Don't take anybody else with you. You just go totally alone and enjoy the space that's around you or this place that you're going to. You might take yourself to a park where there's swings or whatever. And as I say, if you can't do it physically, which I know a lot of people can't at the moment, and a lot of people are really housebound and flooded in and that, so if that's you at the moment, if that's your situation, it's okay. You can still do this. You can get your journal out and you can do it in your imagination or plan it ready for when you can actually physically do it. I'm sure there's lots of places in your local area that you've often thought you'd like to go to but have never got round to it. And a lot of places we go with other people, so we're distracted from what we're actually doing. And the interesting thing about going on this adventure and going somewhere that you've not ever been to before, I think the last time I did this, and it's a really good thing to do periodically because it actually gets you past a lot of fear and that. I actually wanted to go to some rock pools I'd never been to that were out along a dirt road that I'd never travelled before. Probably between 15 and 30 minutes from where I was actually living at the time. And so I had to hop in the car and drive, and I wasn't really sure of where I was going or what it was going to be like. I'd never ever been there before. I'd heard a lot about it, and I'd heard that it was very spiritual place, that it had been, it had a lot of Indigenous history. So I took myself out to these rock pools and it was quite a challenge, because travelling on your own along a road you'd never been on your own, a dirt road particularly, with potholes here and there and everywhere, and not knowing what was in front of you. And actually, if you're doing this and you're going to a deserted sort of place where not a lot of people go, or you don't know whether a lot of people go there, it's a good idea to let somebody else know where you're going. And you take your phone with you, or just tell them a rough idea of what time you expect to be back, just in case your car breaks down or something happens. But those things aside, like in our mundane and physical world, we need to be prepared in case something like that happens. So it's good to let somebody know. But I mean, if it's not particularly isolated, you can just head yourself off and go there. But when I went on mine, there actually were other people there, not many people, probably about maybe 4, and there were rock pools that you could go and sit beside the flowing water, and there were tracks through the bush and all that sort of thing, and you could really connect with the energy and that sense of history that was in the area, the tribal history, and you could pick up on all of that sort of thing, because the people that were there were also there to just go for a quiet bushwalk, or to meet up with somebody and sit and have a cuppa near the rock pool and that sort of thing. So it was really interesting and in a way quite daunting, because I didn't know what I was going to find. I'd never been there. I'd heard people talk about this place and how nice it was and how the energy was there, and all the rest of it, and finding my way there was a bit of a challenge as well. So that's the sort of thing. So you get out of your comfort zone, and when you've done that and you've been in that quiet space and you've connected with whatever it is you need to connect with, and you've discovered whatever it is that you need to discover about the place or about yourself or whatever, on your way back you'll feel a real sense of achievement, and you'll feel a lot stronger and a lot more capable, because you've actually got out of that comfort zone. You've actually, faced that ambiguousness is not the right word. Ambiguity? Okay, give me another word. Okay, you've faced the unknown, I guess. The obscure and the unknown, something you don't know about. We're all comfortable with things we know about, and places we know about, and places we understand and we've been before. So that's the whole idea of this challenge for the day, is to go on an adventure, to step out of your comfort zone, face a fear. Know you're capable of doing it, and you're going to really enjoy it, and you're going to come back much more richer for having done it, having done this, and particularly done it on your own, because you've shown yourself that you're capable of doing things totally on your own without having to have somebody there to assist you or whatever, that you're capable of doing it. So if you can't physically do that, and you've like I said, you're flood bound, or the weather is just too terrible, you wouldn't really want to be going anywhere where I am today. It's more a day of staying indoors and doing something indoors that you would enjoy doing. So you can either leave this challenge for another day, or you can plan it and think about a place, or if you don't know of any spot, then maybe get your tourist guide out of places that are sort of close to you that you might want to go to, somewhere that's not overly crowded. I mean, you know, you could take yourself off into the middle of a shopping centre and just be in your own space and be totally on your own. And if you hadn't been to that shopping centre ever before and you didn't know where anything was or whatever, then you'd still be having an adventure and experiencing something you hadn't experienced before. But if you go to a place in nature and you really start to connect with nature, where you can sit in the still and the quiet and hear the birds or hear the water flowing, and listen for messages that might come through to you, all those sort of things can be much more poignant and much more productive. But if your pleasure is to go to a shopping centre or somewhere where there's lots of people around, that's fine too, as long as you remember that you're there with you, with yourself. You're not there for anybody else. It's like when you go to this place, everybody else and everything else around you, apart from what you're seeing, disappears. You'll see all the people walking around the shops and talking and carrying on, but it'll flow over you and you'll just be with you. So you might choose to do something like that. But like, because you can't go out today, you might want to sit and plan it and think about where you want to go and what you would consider a challenge for you to do on your own. Something that you wouldn't have normally been game enough to do on your own, that you would have said to a friend or your partner or something, oh, come with me, or let's go do this, or let's go do that. You are your partner at the moment. You're doing this for all parts of you. So that's the challenge for today. I hope that came across clearly and you understand what I actually mean and understand about imagining it at the moment and putting the plan into place if you can't actually physically go and do it, or putting it aside for another day when you can and doing one of the other daily challenges instead. With these daily challenges, you don't have to actually do them on the day they're uploaded or whatever, and you don't have to do them in any specific order. You can do any challenge any day that you feel like doing it, and you can repeat them again if you want to or whatever. You'll find that when the time's right, the challenge that's right for you will appear there and it'll draw you and you'll go ahead and do it. But you know, this one is very enlightening and it's very uplifting, and it really makes you feel a lot more confident in yourself and your own capabilities. And it gets you out of your little comfort zone. You know, we all go to regular places and we drive to regular places, and often we drive on autopilot. So we're not even aware of what's around us while we're driving. We're just driving by rote, basically, just sitting there holding the steering wheel, and our mind's off somewhere else. So doing this on our own, we're drawing ourselves into the moment and into the space and understanding how capable we actually are and how much support we have. So that's your challenge for today. I hope you enjoy it. And if you can't do that one, have a look at some of the other daily challenges and do some of those. It might be for today one that actually involves journaling or writing, or something you can do inside might work better for you. But as I said, you can journal and prepare to do this one. You can do it in your imagination and write down where you want to go and set it all up ready for when you can do it physically. Righto, well, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it the thumbs up. Share online. The more people that you share it with, the better it is for the channel. The more people it gets out and helps. The more people that subscribe and share helps the channel grow and helps more people to access these videos and uploads. Okay, so whatever you decide to do, have an amazing day. Whatever you do, love and blessings, Kath. Bye for now.